Tzu Chi provides long-term aid and care for communities struck by Mount Pinatubo's volcanic eruption. Volunteers from northern Taiwan formed a team to visit schools rebuilt during Tzu Chi's Project Hope.
I'm Sean Scanlon. This is DAI Headlines. In June 1991, Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines erupted, the second largest volcanic eruption on land in the 20th century. Local crops experienced a poor harvest because of the volcano, putting their life at risk. Tzu Chi volunteers continue to send bags of rice to this community.
The children went happily from the village to the place where Tzu Chi distributed rice. This is one of the cities in Luzon Island of the Philippines. Tzu Chi volunteers delivered bags of rice, each of 25 kilograms, to 70 families.
This bag of rice is very helpful to us. Even if it was raining, the rice distribution was not cancelled. We are very grateful to Tzu Chi. Even though the roads are muddy and not easy to walk through, Tzu Chi is able to come all the way here. We are really touched.
Moving away from the place they live for centuries, actors residents can only rely on the weather to earn their living. With unstable income, they are living a struggling life.
Our primary livelihoods are growing banana hearts and making charcoal to sell, but recently the government has forbid us from cutting trees, so everybody changed to grow vegetables if the income is not satisfactory. That's why Tzu Chi's rice can save us a huge amount of expenses.
In addition to sending rice, Tzu Chi volunteers also brought stationery to the children. Under the leadership of the students from Tzu Chi University of Science and Technology, every child has an unexpected performance.
The children have lived a difficult life. They are actually very talented. They will dance and sing. Since they are living in this environment, they can show off their talent. I feel very sorry about this.
The children on their way home show a smile. Although the road down the mountain is difficult to walk, the children have brought the best gift with them.
In Jakarta, Indonesia, a fire broke out in a house next to the railway, displacing 115 families. Most of them are part-time workers or farmers. There's still a long way to go for them to rebuild their homes. Tzu Chi volunteers sent them aid supplies to ease their burden temporarily.
The fire broke out and was out of control, affecting 115 families. The houses next to the railway were almost completely destroyed.
This was my home and this was my toilet. Everyone used to share the toilet here.
334 people were left homeless and placed in tents temporarily. Tzu Chi volunteers visit them one by one to express their condolences and care, and also send them the necessary aid supplies.
Volunteers came to care and distributing life materials to us, making us really happy.
At least this can help ease their burden. We also remind them to use electricity carefully.
Most of the affected residents are laundry or construction workers. Some of the people grow vegetables in an open space to earn a living. They face financial difficulties. The government promises to assess the feasibility of rebuilding the houses. Tzu Chi volunteers will come to provide care continuously.
I think they are very touched. I hope that the days will be better soon.
Tebing Tinggi Tzu Chi volunteers go to a prison to care for the inmates every month. Recently, they discovered many of the inmates had skin problems, so the volunteers held a free clinic for them.
Close to 100 Tzu Chi volunteers go to a prison in Tebing Tinggi with medical professionals because they are there to take care of the inmates' health.
We can take in 451 people, but actually we have 1,654 inmates. They sleep crammed together. Also, because of the lack of clean water, they suffer from skin problems.
The patients mostly suffer from scabies because of overcrowdings in the dorms and in the prison, so we must treat them simultaneously to prevent the disease from spreading out.
The volunteers began caring for the inmates with giving them mattresses and setting up a Buddhist hall. The volunteers come every month to care for them. Once they discover the inmates has the skin problems, the volunteers apply to host a free clinic in the prison and also give them toothbrushes and bars of soap, among other hygienic tools.
Tadi ada dikasih saran pencegahan.
The doctor reminded us how to protect ourselves and also gave us medicines. They suggested that we shower more thoroughly to keep ourselves clean.
The doctors treated 772 people and gave them 1,650 sets of hygienic items.
TIMA members in Los Angeles went to the Golden Valley High School in Central California to host a free clinic every 3 months. This time, another free clinic also took place on the same day, as the doctors spread into 2 teams to serve patients in need.
Push me up, up. Oh, she's strong.
Dr. Zhang Fuzhu listens to every patient's issues and explains to them the causes of their illnesses, as well as providing health educations. Sylvia, who's from Korea, volunteers to translate at the Tzu Chi Free Clinic for the first time. She's good in both English and Spanish. She shares her feelings of how everyone is filled with positive energy and sincerity.
But I also see that there's a lot of patient education, not just with the medicines, but just lifestyle changes that he's really trying to teach them about. Not to rely on medication, but how they can improve their lives. But also, I do see that hypertension has to be monitored, so they're really dependent on the service.
This time, their free clinic in Golden Valley High School in Central California happened to be on the same day with the Mexico Free Clinic. Therefore, doctors separated in 2 teams and are busier than usual. However, the clinic still goes smoothly.
针灸其实是蛮快的。如果说
Acupuncture is actually quite fast. If you practice on a patient, after 30 to 40 minutes, he will feel different.
The public came to the clinic either to ease their pain or consult about healthcare and medication. Every 3 months, Tima comes back to meet these old friends while some young volunteers entertain them with music.
A community in Penghu only has 100 residents, most of them being solitary seniors. Since medical resources are lacking there, TIMA members have been conducting regular free clinics since 1999.
At daybreak, Tzu Chi volunteers and TIMA members are busy transporting the medical equipment onto the boat at Magong Port. Their destination is Huayu Village in Wang'an Township. In Huayu of Penghu, the young population has moved out, leaving behind more than 100 seniors. For many years, Tzu Chi has been holding regular free clinics, safeguarding the health of the seniors.
Most of the seniors here live alone. To seek medical attention, they need to take the boat to Magong, and it is very inconvenient. Tzu Chi's free clinics provide services of different specialties, and it is very helpful for the villagers.
I'm very touched. Thank you for taking the boat to come here to serve us. It is convenient for us. When I could not move my hand, this doctor cured me. Therefore, when I heard the broadcast that Tzu Chi volunteers are coming, I came to seek medical attention again.
Since medical resources are lacking here, they do not know what kind of illnesses they have. Tzu Chi has given me the opportunity to serve. I usually do not have the time. Now there is the opportunity for me to serve. It is better.
The TIMA members also serve the grandpas and grandmas who are unable to leave their homes.
The seniors usually live by themselves and they need people's companionship and help. Therefore, I think home visits are important as they allow us to know the problems the seniors are facing, not just the symptoms that they describe to us.
These seniors cannot care for themselves. We hope that through the medical professionals' care and volunteers' companionship, we can add some colors to their lonely lives, so they can feel very happy that someone has come to visit them.
Tzu Chi volunteers in northern Taiwan formed a team to visit schools rebuilt during Tzu Chi's Project Hope in Nantou, Taiwan. The volunteers who helped rebuild the schools recalled every memory, and new volunteers learned from these experiences.
It has been 20 years since the 9/21 earthquake. These volunteers touch every panel and window while listening to the principal tell them about touching moments, allowing them to experience it again.
I'm so impressed at the power of the people to restore Nantou, right? We're using so much love and dedication.
Tzu Chi volunteers from northern Taiwan returned to Project Hope schools, where the school staff gave them tours around their schools, thanking Tzu Chi for their assistance. Without it, these schools would not have the energy to recover and continue.
Our architect discussed with the principal on how to build the school in a sustainable way. So there are green buildings, and our green buildings and humanitarian education are included in this green school.
The school collects rainwater, and its structure is also that of a hospital, so it can function as a shelter for the public.
After the school is completed, we left here. We did not expect to extend our stay, teaching the students until they became adults.
New volunteers praise the dedication from past volunteers. Older volunteers remember everything about this place.
I feel like crying because I remember the disaster from the past.
They didn't dare to move the bodies. They asked me why I dared to do it. I always felt that I came to help them, not to hurt them, so they protect us.
Volunteers remember this history and also witness the current joy, so they have the motivation to move forward.
Tzu Chi Foundation and the New Taipei City government jointly held an exhibition on the disaster prevention with videos and photographs from the 9/21 earthquake. There are also games to teach children about disaster prevention.
The atmosphere at this corner of the Banqiao train station in New Taipei City is different. Because Tzu Chi and the New Taipei City are holding a 9/21 earthquake anniversary disaster prevention exhibition here.
The earthquake is quite vivid in our minds. Those who experience it need a long time to recover. I feel this exhibition gives a slow healing effect to the public.
The exhibition has 4 parts. It brings people back to the disaster 20 years ago and also allows the children to learn through games.
The textbook doesn't teach us much. We only learned that people were injured or died. But after I came here, I learned about the danger of the earthquake, so we must prepare for it at home.
We like to use exhibition to inspire people's kindness and love, so everyone can use their strength, and when combined together, it will become powerful enough to help people.
This 9/21 earthquake exhibition is a good place to teach children from the after-school tutoring classes on how to protect themselves in case of disaster.
Children will learn the importance of disaster prevention, and also when a disaster happens, they know how to protect themselves. This is important to them, and they can share the information with their families.
I believe after the kids go home, they will remember these activities and also the videos. They will learn how to save themselves and other people.
These children never experienced the 9/21 earthquake, so they can learn that in the face of a true disaster, they know how to save themselves. They will not panic and lose self-control, and will be able to lower the damage to the minimum.
Will there be another earthquake as big as 9/21? This earthquake was a good lesson in national disaster prevention, leading primary and secondary schools in Taiwan to hold routine disaster prevention drills.
The community archway tilts by more than 30 degrees. The ground has a scar that is difficult to heal after the 9/21 earthquake. Nantou Suili Township, Chang'an Village, has been attacked repeatedly by natural disasters.
After the 9/21 earthquake and the typhoon of Tzu Chi, the Shangan community brought the concept of disaster prevention community. The concept of output, lifestyle, and ecology are all intertwined together.
The Soil and Water Conservation Bureau has actively promoted disaster prevention and leisure agriculture. There are new earth rock flow monitors installed in some areas to prevent disasters and mitigate disasters through disaster information.
Recently, in the past 10 years, many are living and working peacefully, so people here can concentrate on developing local industries.
History continues to move forward, and painful experiences cannot be forgotten. The concept of disaster prevention has moved from villages to households. Simulating these seismic waves, the sensors are installed on the floor and the roof of a residential building. Before the strong seismic wave, the interior LED lights are activated through the intelligent device, and the gas is turned off and the door is automatically opened to allow the residents to evacuate.
If any earthquake is detected, you will be alerted. You only need to be responsible for your own safety. You can follow the line to go to a safe place to take cover. Other things are left to the computer system to process.
The NCREE developed the immediate alarm system for strong earthquakes. According to the distance between the center and the center of the earthquake, it is possible to obtain an evacuation time within 10 seconds. In the case of the 9/21 earthquake, there was about 11-second warning in Chiayi, and Taipei got a 27-second warning time. It's not a long time, but a golden number of seconds which can save lives. Disaster prevention technology can become utilized by people, and real tests are important, such as past analysis of the history of past earthquakes. The Taiwan earthquake model, produced by Professor Ma Guofeng from National Central University of Earth Sciences, which collected tens of thousands of seismic data from 1973 to 2011, publishing a report of the Taiwan seismogenic structure seismicity rate map in 2015. The analysis shows that in the next 50 years, the probability of occurrence of an earthquake with a scale greater than 6.5 is as high as 97%. The color is relatively high in the eastern and southwestern parts of the island.
Take the length of the 44 active faults in Taiwan. Its geometry is also what I talked about related to the recovery period. It happened once in 300 years or once in 1,000 years. It may have hard uncertainty, but at least this number or data could come out.
After publishing the probability map, the government and the construction companies had another headache because it could be bound to affect housing prices. However, the research team believes that safety, business, and property losses are more important than housing prices.
This is not earthquake prediction. In fact, we are teaching how to deal with hazard and risk and how to prepare for this. This preparation that we tell you could not be done immediately, but maybe 5 or even 10 years. For example, how do improvements to an old house make it more earthquake resistant? And how to convince the public to pay attention to these things?
In fact, it's all like a physical exam. You only do a physical examination of the metropolitan area. Then you know where the fragile places in the metropolitan area are.
The National Central University team analyzed Greater Taipei areas close to the foot of mountains and found the probability of a magnitude 6.6 earthquake in Taipei in the next 50 years is 20%. In the event of a major earthquake, more than 4,000 casualties and more than 4,000 homes will be destroyed.
Stimulation of the faults of the foothills of the mountain gives us an idea of how it will affect the Taipei Basin. It shows that many of the old houses may be quite dangerous. Roads or pipelines will also experience some problems.
Because of the special geography, Taiwan must coexist with natural disasters. In order to reduce disasters such as earthquake prediction, this is the system established by the government which referenced a 3/11 earthquake in Japan, the second system in the world that can transmit disaster information to mobile phones instantly.
政府持续建构多重紧急讯息发布机制。
On September 21st, National Disaster Prevention Day, many cable TV stations simultaneously switched coverage to broadcast simulated disaster message.
Maybe the public is unclear about the source of the message. At this time, we would like to have a unified voice and formal channel to inform the public. So this is why we want to use the TV.
电视就是我们这次采用的方式。
Disasters are inescapable, as it is necessary to turn disaster prevention awareness and knowledge into common sense for everyone. Instead of doing disaster relief, it is better to reduce disasters beforehand.
A 78-year-old solitary elderly from Yangmingshan lives in a house cluttered with items. Recently, Tzu Chi mobilized 90 volunteers to clean up her home.
The space in front of the door was filled with objects, leaving only a narrow passage and people barely entering the house. The items in the room are also stuck up, almost touching the ceiling. This is the home of solitary elderly Grandma Lee.
She brings home unwanted objects and piles them up without sorting. We have cleaned her house 4 times. Today is the 5th time.
Tzu Chi volunteers have been caring this senior for 13 years, but the habit of the Grandma Lee collecting the items makes the volunteers anxious.
There are plastics, papers, and some food which are expired. It's very unhealthy. We were able to quickly clean up after we have communicated with her.
Tzu Chi mobilized nearly 100 people, including Jinsi drum team members and the medical staff, to clean the home. Some people were impressed.
It was shocked. I never thought about life like this.
Volunteers line up into human chain to transport packs of garbage up and down at least 250 stairs.
I'm very tired, but it's worthwhile.
Because of the shortage of manpower, in fact, everyone has to run a short distance. The physical load is heavy.
There are very few young people who are willing to do charity work during the break, so I think this event is very meaningful.
To get up early is fine for me, and it's great that I can help her clean up the place. I think it can give her more comfortable to live.
After spending 3 hours cleaning the house, Grandma Lee can finally sit at front of door, shoot the breeze, and enjoy life.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Toronto hosted an event to promote the benefits of vegetarian diet. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you. Goodbye.